This video is brought to you by mywayteaching.com.
Next topic is liquid vapor equilibrium. Okay, what happens in liquid vapor equilibrium? So I think I have explained you about what do you mean by equilibrium, and I have explained solid liquid equilibrium in the last part, and now I am going to explain you about liquid vapor equilibrium. This equilibrium can be better understood, okay, if we consider the example of transparent box carrying a U tube with mercury. Okay, that is carrying a U tube with mercury. So this is as shown in this figure. Okay, this is called manometer. Drying agent like anhydrous calcium chloride, which is here I am showing, that is anhydrous calcium chloride, is placed for a few hours in the box. After removing the drying agent by tilting the box on one side, we are here what we are doing, we are just removing this anhydrous calcium chloride. We are calling that as a drying agent. Containing so box, so we are removing it. A watch glass containing water is quickly placed inside the box. Here, see in the figure, this is figure B, this is figure A. You can see that here we are placing water, okay, which is quickly placed inside the box. It will be observed that the mercury level in the right limb of the manometer slowly increases and finally attains a constant value. So it is slowly increases. See, I can observe this, which is slowly increases and it attains a constant value level. It will goes, okay, slowly increases and finally attains a constant value. That is, the pressure inside the box increases and reaches a constant value. Okay, also the volume of the water in the watch glass decreases. See here, the volume of the water inside the glass, it is decreases. Initially there was no water vapor inside the box. As the water evaporated, the pressure in the box increased due to addition of water molecules into the gaseous phase inside the box. The rate of evaporation is constant. However, rate of increases in pressure decreases with the time due to condensation of vapor into water. Finally, it leads to an equilibrium condition when there is no net evaporation. This implies that the number of water molecules from the gaseous state into the liquid state also increases till the equilibrium is attained. So you can write like this, that is equal to, see this as rate of evaporation is equal to rate of condensation. Okay, that is at equilibrium, the pressure exerted by the water molecules at a given temperature remains constant and is called equilibrium vapor pressure of water. Vapor pressure of water increases with temperature. Vapor pressure of water increases with temperature. Okay, so this is about liquid vapor equilibrium. Next, come to the solid vapor equilibrium. Let us now consider the system where solids sublime to vapor phase. If we place a solid iodine in a closed vessel, after some time the vessel gets filled up with violet vapor and the intensity of the color increases with the time. After certain time the intensity of color becomes constant and at this stage equilibrium is attained. Hence, solid iodine sublimes to give iodine vapor, and the iodine vapor condenses to give solid iodine. Uh, Consider the container, okay? One container, solid iodine in a closed vessel. So, this has a closed vessel. These are the some iodines we are considering. Okay, after that, hmm, what happens if you place solid iodine in a closed vessel? After some time, the vessel gets filled up and with the violet vapor. After that, there is a, you can see, which is filled with violet vapor. Okay, and the vessel gets filled up with violet vapor, and the intensity of the color increases with that time. After some time it remains constant, and at the stage it will be we can say that it is equilibrium is attained. Hence, solid iodine sublimes to give iodine vapor, and the iodine vapor condenses to give solid iodine. The equilibrium can be represented, the equilibrium can be represented iodine, this is a solid iodine, this is a vapor. Okay, other example showing this kind of equilibrium, that is NH4 Cl in solid state, NH4 Cl in vapor. Okay, so this is about solid vapor equilibrium. Then next topic is equilibrium involving dissolution of solid or gases in liquids. Equilibrium involving dissolution of solid or gases in liquids. Solids in liquids. Solids, how the solids in liquids, we know from our experience that we can dissolve any limited amount of salt or sugar in a given amount of water at room temperature. Yes, we know that if we make a thick sugar syrup solution by dissolving sugar at a higher temperature, sugar crystals separate out if we cool this syrup to the room temperature. Okay, it cooled the syrup to the room temperature. Okay, sugar crystals can be separated. We call it is a saturated solution when no more of solute can be dissolved in it at a given temperature. The concentration of this solute in a saturated solution depends upon the temperature. Okay, in a saturated solution, a dynamic equilibrium exists between the solute molecules in the solid state and in the solution. We know that a sugar solution which can be converted into sugar solid, and the rate of dissolution of sugar is equal to rate of crystallization of sugar. We know that we can only we can dissolve only a limited amount of salt or sugar in at a given temperature, right? Okay, at a given room temperature we can make a thick sugar syrup. Okay, and sugar crystals separate out if we cool the syrup of the temperature. We call it as a saturated solution when there is no when no more of solute can be dissolved in it. We call it as a what do you mean by saturated solution? Note down about the saturated solution. What is saturated solution? Means we see here, dissolving a sugar at a higher temperature. So we can make a thick sugar syrup solution by dissolving a sugar at a higher temperature. Sugar crystals can be separate out it. Okay, we cool the syrup to the room temperature. We call it a saturated solution when no more of solute can be dissolved in it at a given temperature. We can't again add other solutes. Okay, the concentration of the solute in a saturated solution depends upon the temperature. In a saturated solution, a dynamic equilibrium exists between the solute molecules in the solid state and in the solution. nature of, okay, then I will write you, that is sugar. This is solution. Sugar solid. And the rate of dissolution of sugar, the rate of dissolution of sugar is equal to rate of crystallization of sugar. Equality of the two rates and dynamic nature of equilibrium has been confirmed with the help of radioactive sugar. Okay, means equality of the two rates and dynamic nature of equilibrium has been confirmed with the help of radioactive sugar. This is about equilibrium involving dissolution of solid or gases in liquids. What happens? Okay, next, gases in liquids. When a soda water bottle is opened, you know that some of the carbon dioxide gas dissolved in it fizzes out rapidly. The phenomenon arises due to the difference in solubility of carbon dioxide at different pressures. There is a equilibrium between the molecules in the gaseous state and the molecules dissolved in the liquid under pressure. Means, so that is carbon dioxide gas, carbon dioxide in solution. This equilibrium is governed by Henry's law. This is called when soda water bottle is open. So you can observe all these things. So, and there is a Henry's law in this, which states that the mass of gas dissolved in a given mass of solvent at any temperature is proportional to the pressure of the gas above the solvent. So if they're asking about Henry's law, please note it down. What do you mean by Henry's law? What it states. Okay, so this is about the Henry's law. Okay, and next, this is some features of physical equilibria, as this is the table. Liquid to vapor, that is water. Liquid to gas, liquid solid to this. So constant at a given temperature. Melting, for this solid to liquid, melting point is fixed at a constant pressure. And this is a solute to solution. Okay, and concentration of solute is solution is constant at a given temperature. Okay, this is some feature of physical equilibria. Next, these are the some general characteristics of equilibria involving physical processes. The first one is, for physical process discussed above, following characteristics are common to the system at when it is at equilibrium. General characteristics of equilibria involving physical process. The first one, equilibrium is possible only in a closed system at a given temperature. Okay, equilibrium is possible only in a closed system. Please note it down. This is a very important word. This is the keyword. You should know, write that down. And both the opposing processes occur at the same rate, and there is a dynamic but stable condition. Okay, both the opposing processes occur at the same rate and there is a dynamic but stable condition. Next, all measurable properties of the system remain constant. All measurable properties of the system remain constant. Then when equilibrium is attained for a physical process, it is characterized by constant value of one of its parameters at a given temperature. When equilibrium is attained for a physical process, it is characterized by constant value of one of its parameters at a given temperature. The magnitude of such quantities at any stage indicates the extent to which the reaction has proceeded before reaching the equilibrium. So next, the magnitude of such a quantities. What is the magnitude of such quantities at any stage? Indicates the extent to which the physical process has proceeded before reaching the equilibrium. So this is about general characteristics of equilibrium involving physical processes. Okay.